a star in the sky, could steal your light. You are the diamond in the dark. No oceans out there can wash you away.
There is a quiet elegance in the way Meghan Sussex invites people into her life. Not through grand displays of wealth or extravagance, but through the thoughtful details that transform the ordinary into something truly special. In episode 7 of With Love, Meghan is an intimate and heartwarming portrait of friendship, community, and the art of giving. This time, Meghan invites Vicky, her dear friend and neighbor, for an afternoon of conversation, food, and self-care rituals. The episode is steeped in Meghan's philosophy of treating oneself well, elevating small moments, and embracing gratitude. My kind of girl, for life's simple pleasures.
You're a fighter, I'm higher, higher, higher than ever before. I'm higher, higher, I'm higher than ever before.
Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. So here we are, episode 7. Before Vicky arrives, Meghan moves through her home and garden, now with purpose and with joy. She is preparing a harvest basket, a gift that is both thoughtful and abundant, filled with fresh produce, citrus, fragrant lavender, and eggs from her own chickens. Actually, let me rephrase that. They're not really from her chicken, it's from Archie's check-in chickens. I love how they played on that word. Archie's chicken check-in. It's kind of cute. It's very cute. You're just you're not just creating a harvest basket for one meal. Megan explains. You're creating moments that people can pick from. And every time they do, they feel the thought of what you've created for them. I'm paraphrasing there. This is a different level of thoughtfulness that sets Megan apart. I mean, it really does. Not just in how she entertains, but in how she shows love through small, intentional acts. The scene is visually the scene is visually rich, almost cinematic. Vibrant greens of lettuce and Napa cabbage contrast with the deep orange and yellow of citrus. A delicate bundle of chives blossoms adds a pop of purple, while the scent of fresh basil drifts through the air. Can you just imagine it, see it, feel it, sense it? The entire arrangement is finished with a simple bow, a small but meaningful detail that transforms it from a collection of produce into a gift from the heart. And let me tell you something. Sometimes that person you've been invited to a housewarming, or a friend just got their new apartment, or place or whatever. And usually I go and I grab wine, or a bottle of champagne or something like that. But this idea about a basket of produce, and I think it's fantastic. Now, I don't own land like that. As a matter of fact, I don't own land at all. So, if you were to go, let's say, to farmers market, which in most cities exist, I think, or if you go even to the supermarket or the bodega, right? And you just get a basket and you put lemons and apples, or maybe just fruits, and you take that. It's so thoughtful. And you know what else I've noticed? A lot of rich people do that. So maybe we should start. Well, some of you who might be listening and watching might be wealthy, right? I'm saying for the rest of us that are not that wealthy, but we have wealth in thought and behavior or something like that. I think it's a very thoughtful thing to actually just get a nice basket, and you create this beautiful basket with some fruits, maybe add a couple of flowers in there, and produce, and that's what you show up with. And it's so true. Every time they grab an apple or they grab something from that basket, they'll be like, "Ah, that Antonio, he should have brought me the champagne." Maybe. But I still think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, right? It's 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 from the heart. It really is. Megan acknowledges her humble beginnings, reflecting on how she did not grow up with this kind of abundance, but still found joy in small acts of generosity. She encourages viewers to do the same, whether it's picking up something fresh from a farmer's market or sharing something as simple as a good cup of tea. Before Vicky arrives, Megan prepares a simple but indulgent treat, a cup of coffee made exactly the way Vicky loves it. Vicky loves coffee and she likes it sweet. Megan muses, whisking together condensed milk, half and half, and vanilla bean paste into a creamy, frosty delight. Now, I didn't know this until I went to a Vietnamese restaurant, but Vietnamese coffee has condensed milk in it. And I am a sucker for condensed milk. I mean, a sucker for condensed milk. I used to get those things as a kid. They used to come in these little mini containers. Yes, yes, folks, condensed milk in a little mini container. And I would like beg, beg my mom and my dad. I was like, can you please buy me some? Can you please get some? And they're like, Antonio, that's all sugar. I was like, yeah, but okay. It's either that or Nutella. So, because those were my two favorite things, condensed milk and Nutella. I love it, love it, love it. But yeah, Vietnamese coffee is made with condensed milk. Yummy, yum, yum. So instead of just pouring it from a carton, she warms it gently on the stove, treating it like a barista creation rather than an afterthought, really. This is a theme that echoes throughout the series. Megan's belief that a small extra step can elevate even the most everyday experiences. And when it comes to that, you know, boiling the milk, condensing the condensed milk with milk and stuff, I I've never seen that. The only person who I've seen do that is my mother. Not joking, folks. She's the only person I've seen that, and now I see Megan doing it. But I was like, why is she doing that? Like, there's a whiskey thing, not a whiskey as in drink, but that thing, whatever it's called, whisk or whatever. It has batteries, and you just like you turn it on and goes, zzzz, and it froths stuff for you. It goes to show you, eh? I really know the names of things. But we had one of those. But my mom always boiled her milk and put the stuff on the stove, and she would whisk it and then put it. And I just thought, gosh, what a waste of time. But now I get it. I better be calling my mother and apologizing. But it's pretty great to go that extra step, isn't it? And as the coffee steams and froth, Megan prepares a plate of buttery croissant. Oh, don't get me started with croissants, okay? Don't get me started. Now, carefully decanting preserves into a small dish because, as she explains, you don't need a giant jar sitting in the middle of a beautiful tablescape. I will tell you that is so true. So true. I mean, you put you put the whole jar and you put all these things in the middle of a table. Let's say you have the jar of jam, butter, peanut butter, whatever. Let's say you're having like toast or something. And I'm not saying you need to do this, but when you have all of that stuff and you're sitting there with, a friend or your brother or whomever, we interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. Breaking news. We go directly to the field with our reporter. I don't know their name. Thank you very much, studio. We found that on the show called Majesty Sussex Report, lies, all lies. They told lies about Megan frothing milk on a stove. We have discovered hidden video that shows that she used a frother. Indeed, she used a handheld rechargeable frother. Antonio lied. His entire show are all lies. This is your reporter. I don't know my name either. Live from the scene of the crime. I cannot believe that they interrupted our show to do some kind of verification check that I was not imagining things. I mean, really? Really? Don't they have better things to do? Like to be fact checking me? I mean, how many mistakes have I made? Maybe 2 or 4 or 10? Doesn't matter. I mean, there are people out there just inventing stories altogether. I mean, complete lies and complete stories, and nothing happens to them. I make one little silly mistake, and you like interrupt my entire show? Gosh, the world is unfair. Now, that was very dramatic. So I guess Megan did not do it the way my mom does it. She actually did use one of those handheld foaming frother thingies. That's interesting. That I actually thought I did see her whisking it with a whisk, one of those whiskey things. Maybe I was interchanging in my head, my mom and her at the same time. I'm not sure. Anyways, folks, I've been fact checked. So there you have it. Can we carry on now, please? Thank you. And you're just having your breakfast. It's just having your breakfast. But if you were just like have these little containers and take out some peanut butter, take out some butter, take out some jam, and you put it in the middle of a table with a knife, like a butter knife or something, for each one of them, I guarantee you, when when your relative or your friend or whatever sits down, they're like, "Okay, what's the occasion? What's going on?" Because it looks different. It really does. As I said in the last episode, it kind of sets the scene for what follows next. It's like even your conversation becomes a little bit more elevated. You feel better. It's like you sit up pretty with your back straight, and it's just the atmosphere, right? It's all of a sudden you have become the diamond of the ball. We've gotten the diamond, right? I don't know. Just saying. But what I do know is that Megan knows exactly how to make a guest feel welcome. And it's not through excess, but through care. When Vicky walks in, laughter and warmth fill the space. They reflect on their first meeting, reminiscing about the first harvest basket Megan gave her when she moved to Montecito. Vicky, in turn, had used those ingredients to make Potstickers and egg rolls for Megan and her family. A beautiful exchange of generosity and culture. This moment is deeply touching, a testament to the way food can be an expression of love and of community. And just like that, the day's activities begin, learning how to make traditional Taiwanese stickers together. As Vicky teaches Megan how to prepare the perfect dumpling filling, the conversation flows effortlessly. The process is equal parts tradition and improvisation. So there's chive, which Megan is delighted to add generously. There was chives, a dash of soy sauce for umami, sesame oil for richness, a hint of white pepper and sugar for balance. Megan's listening intently as Vicky shares stories of her mother's cooking, explaining how dumplings were a necessity when her parents migrated from Taiwan, as Chinese restaurants were scarce at the time. One of the most heartfelt moments was when she discovers that she had written this recipe hidden away in a cookbook, that she had written this when she was a child, when she was a little girl. I have no memory of writing this, she laughs. But this is my handwriting from when I was little. This moment is nostalgic, touching, and beautifully illustrates the way food connects generations. Together they shape the dumplings, picking and folding the dough into these perfect crescent shapes, creating not just a meal, but a shared experience of learning and laughter. As the pot sticks sizzle on the pan, the conversation shifts to self care. Vicky, who founded a successful skincare company, walks Megan through a simple and all natural facial exfoliant made from ingredients found in any Japanese grocery store. I'm going to have to look for a Japanese grocery store around here. I think I might know one, but it's not close to where I live at all. Anyways, let's see. What's in these natural um, exfoliant ingredients that we should be looking for? So, mochiko, which is rice flour, for gentle polishing. Ooh, gentle polishing. Koji, a fermented ingredient rich in enzyme. Do we drink it also? I guess not. Green tea matcha for antioxidant. I love green tea matcha. Oh, so much. So much, so much, so much, so much. I love it. And purple yam extract for nourishment. Once again, do we eat it? Because I've had purple yam before and it's delicious. But I guess we put it on our face. We don't eat it. Ricky shares a deeply personal lesson about beauty and healing, introducing Megan to the Japanese concept of kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, celebrating imperfections rather than hiding them. That was one of the most gorgeous, beautiful, um, I can't find a word, inspiring things in that episode, right? Imperfection is beautiful. When have we ever heard that? That imperfection is beautiful. If you've been through something, you're not broken. You can be healed, and that healing makes you even more beautiful. Oh, mamma mia. Mamma mia. That is just that is just gorgeousness of when the human spirit really is able to speak truth, to speak um, tenderness, to speak care, to speak love, to speak love. Megan listens, deeply moved by the message. It is a profound moment, resonating with Megan's own journey, her struggles, her resilience, and her ability to find beauty in imperfection. Oh, whew. There's so much going through my head right now because every time I hear her say that, every time I hear that philosophy, yes, I think of Megan. And I don't want to sound selfish or anything here, but I think about the journey that people that I know that are in my life, how broken so much, well, how broken their spirit was because of things that have happened to them, experiences that they've had. My own journey has been filled with so much that I've just thought I was so broken and unacceptable and not good enough and not well enough and not all these things. And there are people in the world who will see how broken you are and they'll take advantage of it and keep telling you how broken and stupid and ugly and all of that. But the reality is that you are golden. It's because you've been broken and put back together because you've had that experience that you shine. And because you shine, there are people who will do their very darn best to take away your shine. Don't let anything, my friends, anything, anyone, anything, take away your shine. Whatever the experience was or experiences that made you feel broken, as long as you have gathered those pieces and put them back together and do what you needed to do to feel healed, walk the path that is meant for you, because you are golden. Golden. And I need to pause. Thank you for your friendship. Megan says softly, I wouldn't have made it here without you. Vicky nods, equally grateful. We've been through a lot, but we're here, and it's beautiful. Episode 7 of With Love, Megan. Like the other episodes, it's certainly a love letter to friendship, hospitality, and the beauty of life's simplest joys. It is about the importance of creating moments that make people feel seen and appreciated. The power of food as a bridge between cultures, generations, and memories. The belief that self-care should be intentional, not indulgent. The idea that true beauty comes not from perfection, but from resilience and healing. With its deep storytelling, visually stunning scenes, and heartfelt conversations, this episode is a masterclass in how to cultivate meaningful friendships and elevate everyday experiences. It is certainly a warm, intimate, and inspiring episode that lingers in your heart long after it ends. The Majesty Sussex Royal Court would like to recognise a benefactor. On behalf of the Royal Court, Susie Q, we say thank you for your generosity. Thank you.
So last night I was watching With Love Meghan, and it got me to thinking, like, what if she was to do a Christmas special? She could even call it like With Love Meghan Christmas edition, Christmas special, whatever, you know, like how awesome would that be to see her, you know, put together like food, crafts, whatever it is that are for Christmas. Hell, she could even do a combined one and do New Year's too, like how to plan your perfect New Year's party, kind of like the birthday party episode. And then my imagination started spiraling and I was like, sis, you know, if you want, you could do Thanksgiving and Halloween too while you're at it. But seriously though, don't you guys think that'd be such a great idea to have like some type of holiday Christmas special? Like something that's the complete opposite of what she's doing right now. Like right now, like with season 1, it's giving spring, summer. It's bright, colorful. There's florals, you know, it's giving those vibes. It'd be amazing to see like the complete opposite of that, where it's like Christmas, warm, cozy vibes, fireplace going. Maybe she's making some homemade hot cocoa, like, you know, all kinds of stuff. I can totally see that. I think that'd be a really good. I am starving for more Love with Meghan, and I haven't even finished season 1 yet, and I'm so ready for season 2. And honestly, with everything that's going on in our country right now, this is such a great, I don't know, distraction. I find it, like I said, another video therapeutic. It's calming. We need more Meghan. So yeah, let's make it happen.
So my obsession with Love Meghan continues. So when I seen this kit in M&S today, I couldn't resist it. It's an edible flower kit, and for those of you who watch the show, you'll know how much she uses edible flowers. So these will be in ice cubes, these will be on cakes, and I will have them sitting on my windowsill, ready to use. I think the kit's about £12, which Ryan told me was quite expensive, but I don't care. If this is going to elevate my hosting skills, then so be it. It's worth the £12.
I know that's right, Meghan. And maybe by season 2 of With Love, Meghan, people will come to understand that Black folks are not a monolith. As in, we are not all the same. And just because you've been exposed to a certain type of Black folk does not mean that Black women like Meghan Markle, Meghan Sussex, do not exist. And as a Black woman myself who has more times than I could possibly count been told that, oh, you speak white. Oh, you act white. Oh, you're doing white things. As if I couldn't possibly speak the way I do because it's just how I speak. As though it couldn't be possible that I like to go hiking because I simply like to go hiking. As though it is impossible that I love pretty, peaceful, simple things like having my afternoon tea every day in my cute little teapot. As though Meghan Markle doesn't truly enjoy the things that she is showing us that she enjoys on her show, that it's not acting. And that's simply how she is. Maybe by season 2, more people will understand exactly that.
I find it weird that these Meghan Sussex haters think she snapped at Mindy Kaling. You know what I think it is? It's called microaggression. This is snapping.
Have another glass of water, Jackie. Dilute some of that tequila. This isn't tequila talking. This is the truth. You think you're the almighty decision maker around here? Huh? You think you can replace Roseanne as the mom of this family? What a joke.
Jackie, enough.
You want to talk about my mom? Let's talk about her. Because she spent her entire life trying to fix you, and every time she picked you up, you fell down. You know why? Because you're a loser, and you were the bane of her existence.
That's snapping. And yes, I used a clip of Roseanne because I figured these white trash Meghan haters can relate better. When a Black woman or a woman of color is being assertive or correcting a friend, she's aggressive or she's snapping. But when it's a white woman, she's being a boss, she's being a baddie. Do you see the difference in the double standard? Forced Meghan hate is just the subplot to the actual plot of racism. You are the victim of monarchy manipulation.
Now it's time, let's take a peek. Your voices shine, your words we seek. Join the chat, let's hear you say. Squad's got thoughts, let's dive today.
So before we bring up the comments to share today, I wanted to share with you folks this little list here from the Standard, the full list of items with Love Meghan has had an impact on. It's incredible the amount, uh, regards to the percentage, right? So um, I'm going to go from the bottom here. So bath salts, 65% increase of people either buying or inquiring about bath salts. Focaccia, 86%. Brochetta, 50%. Edible flowers, 200%. Microwave popcorn, 200%. Truffle salt, 300, no, 3,200. So 3,200. Assorted fruit platter, 33%. Sparkling water, 233%. Honey, 49%. And crudités, 200%. I mean, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. The power of the Meghan effect. The power of Meghan effect. You know, I know this may sound a little odd or weird, or or maybe or maybe even sick. I'm not sure, but I've actually gone back on some of those programs. I'm not going to mention them, but the ones that were pontificating the demise of Meghan Sussex, right? And the grandiose announcements of the end of their relationship with Netflix and all of that. And I'll tell you, not even a month has passed, and the comments have not aged very well. Have not aged well at all. The other thing too, I don't know why, the last 2 days I've been very active responding back to people. And I usually don't engage in this kind of um thing, because I know it kind of goes nowhere. But I made myself a promise, and that promise was make your statement and then don't check it again, right? So I did that for a few because they were saying all this stuff. There was one content creator. She said something to the regards of, and this is the whole issue with. You know what? Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The point is that it's fascinating to me how these content creators, I know they just following the fad or the trend and whatever is going to make them more money or get them the clicks. That's what they actually follow. You know, these kind of drifters, kind of just follow wherever the carrot takes them, right? And what has amused me is the certainty in which they proclaim what they think they know. They speak with such authority on human behavior or on knowing someone that they don't know that absolutely amuses me. And I'll tell you, nothing of what they've said, and it's only a month, has aged well. Not only that, with the stuff that we already know, the things that they're saying comes across. I don't even think the word petty is the right word. It's like it comes across opportunistic. It comes across, especially for the women hating on another woman that they don't know at all. And the other thing too, I wonder when they will get tired of using the same arguments over and over again. I mean, this is like, in like certain families, okay? I don't know if you've had this. It has certainly affected my family at one time or another, where something will happen, an incident will happen. And fine, people stop talking to each other, then they come back together and they resolve the issues, whatever, and if the La Familia is back again. Everyone is okay. And the first time there's a disagreement or some kind of argument, they bring everything back up again. Everything. I'm usually like, did they not put that to rest already? Like how I, I said to my parents at one point, we were in Colombia, and they were arguing about something. And it wasn't really like an argument. There was sort of like play argument, but I was just tired and I was a little bit cranky. And I said, okay, I said, guys, please, 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 please. Like I know you're just like being silly with each other, but just stop it. Stop it. Right? But it's funny, they bring up stuff from like before I was born. And I'm thinking, folks, calm down. Calm down. So, anyways, let's get into the comments, all right? Okay.
In a land far, far away, where the rivers flowed with smooth milk and cream, where whipped clouds drifted lazily across the chocolate chip-speckled sky, there stood a kingdom unlike any other, the kingdom of sweet delights.
Here, the roads were paved with golden shortbread, the houses were made of every type of cookie imaginable, and the air smelled of freshly baked goodness. The trees bore sugar-dusted leaves, their branches heavy with cinnamon rolls and candied pecans, and the gentle wind carried the soft scent of vanilla and melted chocolate. It was said that once a year during the week of celebration, a very special soul would be born, one destined to bring joy, laughter, and sweetness to all those around them. And on one such week, a baby was born who would change the kingdom forever. Her name? Cookies and Cream. From the moment she arrived, the entire land rejoiced. The marshmallow elders predicted that she would have a heart as warm as a fresh-baked brownie and a spirit as playful as a drizzle of caramel on a sundae. Even as a child, Cookies and Cream had a special gift. She could turn any moment into a celebration, sprinkle a little happiness into the lives of others, and bring people together over the simple joy of a sweet treat shared among friends. But there was one more magical trait she possessed. Whenever she laughed, the rivers of milk and cream would swirl together, forming the most perfect cookies and cream swirls, enjoyed by all who lived in the land. The people adored her, and as she grew, her reputation spread far beyond the cookie kingdom. Even the whipped cream clouds danced in the sky when she danced, forming little swirls of happiness in her honor. And the day came when Cookies and Cream was needed in these lands to bring joy to us all. We are happy to celebrate Cookies and Cream birthday.
But once again, Cookies and Cream, happy birthday. I guess in this case, it's a little bit more like happy belated birthday. And so, so happy that you are part of this community and all of what you bring and contribute to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community. I thank you. from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. I also would like to mention at this time that Cookies and Creams is the person in charge of Squatty's safety and Squatty's being aware of Peggin and the Peggers. So just Cookies and Cream is the head person for all of that. I really appreciate your sense of humor. Um, Cookies and Cream, it always makes me laugh. So thank you and happy belated birthday once again. All right, so our first comment is from Narose 5269. Again, let me say this. If and when I mispronounce your handle, I ask you for forgiveness and for your kindness and understanding. Thank you. And Narose wrote, these faux journalists don't know what they're talking about. They should try to do something research before they talk about any topic. I made the pasta dish. The ingredients cost about $10. I used only half pack of spaghetti. I had 4 servants. I can make another recipe with the remaining ingredients. Please tell me where in the world you can make such delicious food for so little. If you look into your pantry, it will cost even less. Meghan Sussex read the room, and she got it right. I was so inspired by her show that I've made some beautiful changes in my life with elevating things I already had. It's the power of intention. So beautiful. So absolutely beautiful. Um, Rose, I really, and all of us, appreciate that comment. One of the things that I think so many of us, besides the absurd and unfair criticism that was there with an intention to bring down, an intention to make sure that this show did not succeed. That was their intention. I don't care what publication you work for. I don't care how important you are as some kind of journalist. Your job was to bring this show down. Because when you would read the reviews, none of it made sense to what you watched. When you would listen to these royal commentators or people who are editors of magazines and etc., it would make no sense to things that they were saying. It was like, oh, okay, were we watching the same show? Or editors who put in charge people who are known for not liking the Sussexes, picking them to write the review. I mean, I know they think we're stupid, but give us some credit here. We're not that stupid. And I will even argue we're not stupid at all. So it is just so beautiful that the people spoke up by action, by watching this show that was in the top 5, top 10 in over 40 plus countries in the world. It is a beautifully shot show. It is easy to watch. Almost anything and everything that is done in the show, you can do. You can replicate it. I mean, most of us don't have a garden in our yard, but some of us may have potted herbs and so on. You could probably go to a farmer's market And even if you don't have that, you can just go to a bodega, or you go to a corner store or supermarket, and the ingredients that are shown to us to do certain recipes are not uber expensive. And the little touches here or there to to elevate, taking the ordinary and converting it into something extraordinary. I heard commentators say things like, she's teaching us how to do popcorn. Like we don't know how to do popcorn. Look, sit down and shut up, you fish cake. Shut up. It is absolutely hypocritical. You would have other lifestyle people, I don't need to name anyone, but they will be like, and what you do here is that you pick up the Grand Poupon. The Grand Poupon, and you must have the Grand Poupon, you see, because the Grand Poupon has to be the ingredient we use in the soufflé de la matrone. Okay, so the soufflé de matrone is a souffle that is done 20 times over, and then you blend it, and then you stir it, and then you have to wait 14 days before you're able to eat it. Exaggerating here for comedic effect. But that is my take. And simple things, the joy it brings me, to see people. I mean, I grew up in a household where my wonderful mother is, I mean, I don't want to say she's the best host, but she absolutely understands the power of intention, of hosting, of making people feel at home, making them feel welcome, and that there's intention behind these small little things to make them feel part of the family when they're with us. Small little things. These moronic people, and so many of them I've listened to. Well, she took a bag of pretzel and she put it in like another bag. Oh my god! Like that is like totally like I don't even know what she was doing. Like, do you understand what she was saying? Because I really don't. Oh my god, Jennifer, I love your outfit, Jennifer. Jennifer, did you understand what that Megan chick was saying? Why don't you go read a book? Next comment. Okay, and we've got a double double. Um, Reba Henderson 211, and Reba writes, "Lovely show, Antonio. Unfortunately, everyone is not on the uptick. They want Megan's success not to be a success after her show was a success. Knowing Megan, I never believe anything these knuckleheads have to say about her. These are the same stupid people who think Canada wants to be a 51st state. They are too delusional for words. Mental illness is very real, especially when it is in denial." Oh, Reba, I have to agree with you. I just have to. It is quite an interesting sight, not only to read, but to actually listen or watch some of these detractors or some of these purveyors of negativity and just people seeking monetization. And in exchange for that, they help the darkness, grow. Because I'm going to say this a bit of philosophical way, spiritual way. And I've said this before. Every day, every minute, every second, we give out energy. We give out energy. We take in energy. We don't see it, but it exists. It is there. right? Some people are able to read people's auras and all of that, and they'll say, "Oh, I see this or I see that." Look, some people have that ability, and that is wonderful. But you yourself, I think we all have this. You can walk into a room and you can feel the heaviness of that room. And I'll say this to you: walk right back out. I saw an ad for a TV show, and I don't remember what show it was, but the couple walks into this private party, and they just stood by the door. They're about to take their coats off, and they looked at each other and they just said, "Yeah, no, no," and they just said thank you and walked right back out, because we give out energy. And for people, because there are many of those who will say, well, what does it matter? What does it matter that I said something negative about X, Y, or Z person? It matters. Oh, trust me, it matters. When that editor of I forgot his name, when he said on the show or the series that they did, was it ITV that did it, the one on mental health and the tabloids, and when he was asked, is he remorseful of what he contributed to, he said no. He said his argument was, well, these people are rich. These people are rich. They've got money. It makes no difference to them. And also, who's gonna report on them, having affairs and doing this and doing. Listen, what does it matter? These are people's personal lives that you invade. No public figure, no public figure, let me make that clear. No public figure deserves to have their private time, their private life invaded, things made up, cameras and microphones placed around their office or their homes, trackers being placed on the vehicles of their friends or partner. That is not right. So there's this energy that is being fed into negativity, anger. More and more, I'm seeing people snap, and the anger is real. I'm telling you, folks, COVID did a game on us, and it has fundamentally changed us. I think for people who are already sort of on the edge, they have just gone over the edge, right? And they're just surviving day by day. But also a lot of people whose mental health was affected and they haven't gotten any treatment. They haven't spoken to anyone. So they are these people who don't have or don't care about having proper information. Because as I've said before, it takes 2 clicks maybe if you really want to get the and you're interested in the truth. But they're not. Negativity feeds them, right? And then once it feeds them, that turns into their energy and they feed that negativity into that broader. I always see it in my head, like there's certain movies and you see sort of like um energy coming out of a person. That's how I see it. It's like when you're kind, when you're good, there's a certain energy that comes out of you that feeds into goodness, feeds into wellness. Because we can have an aura, la 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 la, it's all good energy. And then someone running or something just bumps into you, and your energy changes from that positive to bam, negative. And negativity holds on to you quickly and tightly. And it's easy. Being positive, being happy, being kind, being good, it's not easy. It's not easy. So I commend everyone that takes the time and consciously makes a decision and say, okay, that just peed me off, but I'm not going to allow it to change my energy. I am not going to contribute to that negativity, to that darkness. I saw a TikTok the other day, and this woman, very MAGA-ish, and she's like, "Oh, we're going to invade Canada. We're going to do this. Yes, you're the 51st state. Our president, Mr. You're going to see, oh, crybaby Trudeau, blah, blah, blah." And I'm thinking, wow. And she goes, "Huh, you don't make anything, Canada. You don't make any produce. You don't have anything. You depend on us. If we don't," and I'm thinking, you are so ignorant. And this is something that I I sort of laugh at, because before putting yourself out like that in public, on the internet, on these platforms, be secure in what you're saying. Be secure that you've got the information. Because she said, nothing in my house comes from Canada. And someone had a rebuttal to her and said, have you checked your house? The lumber that built your house? Most houses in the US and many states, the wood that builds that house comes from Canada, because Canada has an enormous amount of lumber. And the type of trees that construction people like to use to build houses, because it's a lot more sturdier, it's a lot older. So you think the apple that is on your table, or the pear, or the vegetables, Canada exports potash. Number one, I think it's and it goes to the US. Without potash, most crops don't grow the way they're supposed to. And we have an abundance of it. So we sell most of it to the US. Gas, minerals, and I can go on and on. So before you make these grandiose statements, get your information right. Right? So it is lamentable, I'll tell you, Reba. Lamentable. Um Vinny Blair 8576 wrote, marvelous. Thanks. Thank you as always, Antonio. And Vinny, I say thank you for everything. Thank you. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, we've got Susie Q. And Susie Q, once again, thank you so very much for the super thanks. And you wrote, thanks. Antonio, just finished listening to your podcast. I'm a night owl. I'll go to bed late. Susie Q, so am I. So am I, Susie Q. I am a person who stays up very late. And then my sleep is all whack-a-doo-doo. But it's something I think I inherited. My grandfather on my dad's side. My grandfather was the same way. My dad is sort of the same way, even though I don't think he's as bad. He thinks he is, but he's not. Like, but I certainly I and in university it just became worse, because I had a part-time job. I had a full course of a full course load, in university, and even though my job, quote unquote, was part time, it was actually a full time job, and I would stay up until 3, 4 a.m. to study or do research. I would get maybe 2 hours sleep and then back to uni. Uh, and I think that has permeated. It has stayed. So sometimes I do have quite difficulty falling asleep. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Susie Q. Thank you once again. And this is a double double. And this is Teresia picture. And Teresia wrote, "You are acting silly because you are happy and appreciative of the good stuff in your life. And that's beautiful. Absolutely wonderful." And it cuts off there, but because I've got telepathy and I've got I've got photogenia memory. Photogenia. It's photogenia. Oh, you're ridiculous. I can remember what the rest actually says. It says, "Don't ever change. We love you, um, just the way you are. Thank you. I am not going to shed a tear, but thank you. Thank you. I am very silly. Actually, I'm especially. I think when I am I am extra happy. Like, I'm a silly person to begin with, and I like to bring sort of levity and humor to any situation or any thing that I'm walking into, to show up not grumpy or unhappy. But the funny thing, once I leave the situation, or I'm usually very right, and it's not performative. It's who I am. But I also know that the same way how I can exude happiness and try and be good influence and good energy when I'm with people, I'm also very attuned to sadness and to hurt and pain. So I'm very easily also can be consumed by it, even though it may not be mine. Um, so it's something that I consciously have to. I am very aware of when I'm starting to feel um, down. So I kind of I capture it and I'm like, okay, why are you feeling this way? What's going on? And I try to find the source and then say, okay, manage that and try and bring forth some happiness and some joy. But when I'm extra happy, man, there's an extra step in my something, whatever people say. There's an extra step in your bounce. I don't know. You know what? This is completely out of like context here, but I didn't know until a friend pointed out to me. I never forget Oscar. Oscar pointed out to me. I was in elementary. Yeah, I was in elementary. I didn't know that I walked like I was like bebopping. No idea. Like I walked and I was like I was like walking just like a thing in my step, as if they were like, what's that thing called, springs in my shoes, in my runners. And I remember Oscar said to me at one point, he's like, "Why you walk like you're like you as if you're going up and down as if you're like bouncing?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you walk like this." And I said, "No, I don't." He's like, "Dude, you do." And I'm like, "No one has told me I walk like that." He goes, "Well, I'm telling you, you walk like that. Why do you walk like that?" I was like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "Oh, great. Another thing I need to change. I didn't know I walked like this." Anyways, it's kind of funny. But I understand. I think it's going to sound whatever, but I heard someone say sometimes people who are kind, people who are overly with intent, are kind people, nice people. Don't assume that they're just like that for no reason. They're like that because they have either gone through very painful, traumatic situations, or they have seen um, the horrors of humanity in one way or another. And they've had to work through all of that to then show up with kindness and happiness because they never want to go back to what either they experienced or what they saw. Um, so I think we as a community, we as a people, and I've said this before, things are not always easy, right? But we have this thing called our mind, and our mind is so powerful, so powerful. And there's nothing wrong with having a conversation with your mind and saying, listen, I know things are hard today. I know it. I am you, you are me. I know it. But if we stay in this mood, we know that it's only going to get darker and it's going to get worse. And then for us to get out of it, it's going to take even longer. So let's just stop this, okay? Stop it. That's my advice. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Next one, I think this might be the last one. Okay, so these are the last sets. I grabbed the three. Connie Balmer, Connie. Yeah. So Connie wrote, "I'm so impressed with everyone trying to cook these meals. Your best friend whipped out a beautiful meal, didn't she? She really did. And I'll tell you, Gloria has. I met Gloria in university, and I think she was on her third. Was she on her third? I think she was on her third, yeah, degree. She already had accomplished 2 degrees, and she was on her third one. Um, Very, very, very intelligent person, very A-type personality too, and I'm not A-type at all. Um, so it was great that clash between our personalities. But Gloria is a person that I also travel with whenever our vacation time coincides. It's really, really great. Yeah, I am. Listen, I am happy about it. I'm happy, excited. I love seeing the posts. I love seeing people doing things, and in this episode, when you folks saw the kids, when the kids were like doing little arrangements of the flowers and the fruit board and all of that. I was just like, you see, this she got it. She got it. That mom got it. And it's an activity, and it's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna try to make the focaccia. Um, I was thinking to try it today, but I looked into my cupboard and I have no flour because I never buy these things. So maybe I'll head out later and grab some flour. Thank you, Connie. And we've got also S6352. And you wrote, so the social, you are right. Martha Stewart's show existed during the recession. Only Andrea Baines on that show is the only good commentator there. The rest are garbage. Love Duchess Megan and your beautiful podcast. Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very, very much. Listen, I was surprised. I'm not joking, because the interesting thing is that even Jess Allen, she was like, "Oh, Megan is so like these people write awful things about her. They're mean to her. Like it's just been awful, all this stuff." And then she goes on to say what she said. So, and it seemed so out of place. It really did, because them her kind of insisting in this Martha Stewart thing and there's nothing new. I'm like, lady, you're on a daytime, morning, or whenever show, right? At whatever time people get it throughout the country, and you guys do cooking segments, and you guys do travel segments, and you guys do opinion. There's nothing original about what you do. There's nothing original about how you get paid. So I don't understand your criticism. Like I really didn't understand it. I'm going, what? And Jess Allen usually, right? She always has a sort of interesting way of looking at things, and many times she's made me go, that's an interesting point of view. Let me think about that. But this time I was like, you are so wrong that it's annoying me how wrong you are, right? And then the other person, oh my gosh, Farah. Oh, I couldn't. I wanted to throw like my cushions at the TV, because to compare what Megan is doing to Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. Oh, she's not reading the room. Are you idiotically stupid? I mean, I hate to say that, but that comment was so not of what I expected of her. Oh, people are going through economic crisis right now, and people are this, people are that. I'm sorry. When all these like extravagant shows were on TV, it doesn't even have to be um what's it called? Uh Television, entertainment, TV, all this stuff. It's there to distract us. That's what it's there to do, right? So I don't want, if I'm going through like economic crisis, to sit down and watch a show also showing me how miserable my life is, right? So her whole thing, I'm like, did Martha Stewart stop her show when there was a recession? Did Martha Stewart stop selling things when she was in jail? No. And a lot of the things that Martha Stewart was doing, it was very foo foo fan fan and very high endish, right? That was very, some of it wasn't that easy. So it was quite surprising to me. I was really disappointed in them, really disappointed. Um, and even though Andrea also, like for the most of it, I didn't like. I mean, now I'm picking at things now. But the whole beginning, when she started talking, she's like, Megan hasn't had anything successful or something like that, and she goes, this when I watched the show, I said this one thing, she nailed it. Like this is her area. I'm like, she hasn't had one. I'm like, what? What? Who? Wait? I don't know why people seem to think that the podcast wasn't successful. Like archetypes was some like dump. And I've heard this also. I was getting commentary and stuff, and doing research. People going, yeah, and she had that fail podcast. It didn't fail. It was number one across the world. It dethroned Rogan. I don't understand. So what the way they said it was, it wasn't renewed, and supposedly she got paid $20 million to do it, and the executive came out and said that they were drifters and this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again. Here we go again. Song and dance. Anyways, thank you. And now our next one is Andrea Ayene. I think so. Maybe not. Andrea, if I'm saying anything correctly, my 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 forgiveness. Um, Always love your updates. Sometimes it makes me cry. When you cry, when you pray, it is so touching. Well, Andrea, thank you. Thanks for everything you do. You always do a fantastic job. With love, Megan, you are doing fine. Thanks again. No, thank you. Um, okay, give me a second here. Okay. It is. I don't. I don't know. I'm getting all like. It's not intentional. I think I said this before, and um, sometimes I worry that I leave things in when I do my edit that maybe I should just edit out. But I have said many a times, this is me, and I am deeply moved by the human condition, the human spirit. I'm deeply moved by people's resilience and understanding hurt and pain, um, trauma, and what people have done in order to be better, to show up and to not let that pain and hurt and trauma live within them and turn them into the ugliness that one can turn into. It moves me to my core, moves me because I know how much it takes to do that. And they have my admiration. I think too often, because I heard it since I was a little boy, um, the whole stereotypes about men don't cry, boys don't do this, boy da da da. And there was so much pain I carried for many, many, many years. And dangerously, I would say, isolated myself and convinced myself about some horrible things about me. And none of it was true, right? But when you are trying to be, and society is saying to you, well, no, that's not who you really are. We're not interested in. We want you to be this, right? I don't know if I told the story, but my grandfather told my dad, um, he's too soft. And I was a little kid. He's too soft. And I loved my Lego sets. I love constructing things. I was interested in all of that. And so all of my quote unquote toys uh, overnight vanished. And what showed up was guns and these trucks. And I remember so clearly going, where's my other stuff? And they're like, well, it's gone. This is what you have now to play with. And I so remember me asking the question, why would I want to play with a gun? It kills people. Why would you give that to me? And I remember so clearly left, I walked outside our home and there was two guns I had. One was a metralleta. How does he say that? It was a machine gun. And when you like it lit up and like fire the whatever. And I took it and I just destroyed it. I just destroyed it. The other one destroyed it and just left it there. I was like, I'm not interested in this. And then the trucks, I was like, what am I going to do with this truck? I don't know. What am I going to do with it? I can't build it. I can't do anything. And I don't want to sit there and go, like what? Right. So anyways, they the following day, my Lego set showed up and my other stuff showed up. But it is interesting, I think, human emotions and how we manifest them. And I think I love when people are able to not be ashamed to be themselves, and for when things move us, to be moved by it, allow it to be, because having emotions is the most beautiful thing. It tells you that you are alive. It tells you that you're still able to be empathetic with others. I think is absolutely beautiful. Ever so often I do I do tend to try and excuse and say I'm sorry, and all of that, but there's just a very, very tiny part of me that is sorry. The rest is not, because it is who I am, and I accept all parts of me, because for way too long I didn't accept any of me. So thank you. And with that, I say this is the end. Take care of yourselves, please, 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 please. So much craziness is happening. For those who live in Canada, you've got a new prime minister, Monsieur Carney. So, new prime minister, and let's see what happens. Take care. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to your loved ones. And until we speak again. Ciao, ciao.